The NASCAR Cup Series race has officially concluded from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and Ryan Blaney holds off a hard-charging Josh Berry and picks up the win at New Hampshire. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Series race in New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Mobile 1301. We have quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So at the start of the race, you had Joey Logano lead the field from the inside with Ryan Blaney on the outside, and Ryan Blaney did not get a good start and dropped back quite a bit, and Joey Logano was able to clear for the race lead. But as early run progressed and went on, while Joey Logano had to lead over Josh Berry, Ryan Blaney was starting to catch the leaders in front of him and was making moves throughout the field and was starting to make a ton of ground in front. Meanwhile, lap number 39 in the event, Josh Berry tried to make a move on Joey Logano for the race lead going into turn number 1, but unfortunately could not complete the pass when being too low on the track and would lose a ton of ground. We can see Ryan Blaney eventually get up to second position at this point, and then on lap number 53, Ryan Blaney would make the move to the inside of Joey Logano and would take the race lead. Ryan Blaney would start checking out with the lead, and then on lap 63, the first caution race come out for Cody Ware. Cody Ware got spun by Austin Dillon going into turn number 3, just got in the outside wall, got a ton of damage on the car. And for a tough break there, I don't know what Austin Dillon was trying to do. I guess he was trying to set a lead lap at that point. And tough break for Cody Ware, who got in the outside wall, but his race would not be over at that point, but he would be a lap done at that point of the race. So then, all lead lap cars have then come down pit road with Ryan Blaney winning the race off pit road, followed by Josh Berry and Joey Logano. And then on the restart with one to go in the stage, you had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the outside with Josh Berry on the inside, and Ryan Blaney got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. And then Ryan Blaney would come off the corner and would win stage number 1, followed by Joey Logano, William Byron, Josh Berry, and Carson Hocevar. And then on the next restart, we had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the outside with William Byron on the inside, and Ryan Blaney got a really good restart and was able to clear for the race lead, and Joe Logano would move up to second position. But then the next caution would come out at lap number 82 of the race for Josh Berry and Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen was having a really good run early in this race, running around the top 5 position, and Berry and SVG were battling really hard for the 5th position at that point. Josh Berry would come down the racetrack a little bit, and then of course Shane went up the track a bit. That would spin Josh Berry out. To me, that's just a racing deal and a racing incident. Shane is partly at fault for it, and Josh is at fault for it a little bit. So to me, that's just a racing deal and incident. I hate it for Josh at that point, but luckily for Josh, he wasn't out of the race. Tough break for both those guys who were having really good runs. Just a mistake there on both their parts. A little bit over-aggressive at that point. And then on the restart, you had Ryan Blaney lead the field from the outside with William Byron on the inside, and Ryan Blaney got a really good restart and was able to clear for the race lead, and he started checking out and pulling away. But then on lap 110 of the race, the most controversial incident of the race ended up taking place between teammates, Ty Gibbs and Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin was really frustrated on the radio with Ty Gibbs for multiple laps as Ty Gibbs battling Denny Hamlin still in the playoffs, while Ty Gibbs was 20th in the points, something like that coming into this race. And Denny Hamlin just got frustrated and dumped Ty Gibbs going into turn number 1, and Ty Gibbs hit the outside wall when multiple laps done because this in his race would be over at that point. I do understand Denny Hamlin's frustration in that situation. I think it was a little bit over-aggressive, maybe unnecessary, but we know someone that's probably going to be really upset at Denny Hamlin for that, and that, of course, is going to be Grandpa Joe, because we know that Grandpa Joe is very defensive of Ty Gibbs at this point, but I get Ty Gibbs being frustrated. He had some funny interviews after the race, by the way, or during the race, I should say, being in the medical center, but just Denny Hamlin frustrated and implosion from Joe Gibbs Racing at that point. Tough break for both those guys. So then, all lead lap cars have then come down pit road, with Chase Briscoe taking 2 tires and winning the race off pit road, followed by Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney. And then on the restart, you had Chase Briscoe lead the field on the outside with Joey Logano on the inside, and Carson Hocevar tried to shoot 3 wide and actually got a really big move and took the race lead. But off of turn number 2, another move and caution would come out on the restart as Shane Van Gisbergen and Brad Keselowski would make contact. Brad Keselowski tried to make it 5 wide on the bottom for whatever reason. I think that was a bonehead move by Brad Keselowski to try to make it 5 wide. I expect better from a champion, and this would unfortunately collect Justin Haley, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, and Daniel Suarez as well. I gotta be real and honest, I do not know what Brad Keselowski was doing there. I just don't understand how you try to go to the bottom, make a move. I think that was a little bit over-aggressive and unnecessary move there by Brad Keselowski that took a guy like Shane Van Gisbergen, who was having a really good run today, running into top 5 early. Yes, he lost some positions on pit road, but a pretty dumb move by Brad Keselowski on his part. And then on the restart, we had Chase Briscoe lead the field from the outside with Joe Logano on the inside, and Chase Briscoe got a really, really good restart and was able to clear for the lead, and Kyle Larson moved up to second position. And he had a really good run eventually after a couple laps, being Kyle Larson, had a really good run on the inside of Chase Briscoe, and he would take the race lead from Chase Briscoe and take off. But then a couple laps later, Joe Logano, who was really good on the long run especially, had a really good run on Kyle Larson. He would take the race lead, and Logano would start taking off with Ryan Blaney moving up to second position. A few laps later, another caution would come out in the race for John Hunter Nemechek. He had something happen to the car and just spun out of nowhere and backed it really hard into the outside wall. His day would be over. Tough break for John Hunter, who had been struggling all weekend as it is. His day would be over at that point. And then all lead lap cars would then come down pit road with Joe Logano winning the race off pit road, followed by Kyle Larson, William Byron, as Joe Logano would take 2 tires, while Ryan Blaney would be the first driver off pit road 4 and would restart 11th. And then on the restart, you had Joe Logano lead the field from the outside with Kyle Larson on the inside, and Joe Logano got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. He would start pulling away from the rest of the field with Kyle Larson trying to keep close, and Larson started gaining a little bit on Joe Logano as the race progressed and went on, but he would run out of time to get there as Joe Logano would come off the final corner and win stage number 2, followed by Kyle Larson, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, and Carson Hocevar. And then all lead lap cars would then come down pit road, with Joe Logano winning the race off pit road, followed by Austin Cindric, who actually took 2 tires, and then William Byron as well. And then on the restart, you had Joe Logano lead the field from the outside with William Byron on the inside, and Joe Logano got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead, and he started driving off with the race lead at the point, but Ryan Blaney would move up to second position and would start charging after Joe Logano at this point in the race. Logano's car was not as strong as Ryan Blaney's on the longer run especially, and Blaney was really gaining a lot of ground on him. But there's another driver coming back to the front, and that of course is Josh Berry. We talked about it earlier. Josh Berry's car was really good on the long run and was charging up to the front and got through all the traffic at this point. Once we got to the green flag pit stops, you see Ryan Blaney come down pit road, and then Joe Logano would actually stay out for quite a bit, but then eventually he came down pit road on lap 238 of the race. This would hand the lead to Ryan Blaney after that, as once Josh Berry and Chase Elliott came down, the race leader of the event would end up being Ryan Blaney at that point. But then Joe Logano on the fresher tires after coming in a little bit later, he would start chasing after Ryan Blaney. We're thinking he might have a chance to beat Ryan Blaney in this race. But with 47 laps to go in the event, the final caution of the race would end up coming out when Cody Ware crashed between turn 1 and turn number 2, trying to retaliate against Austin Dillon. There's a saying, the number 1 rule in stock car racing is learn how to wreck somebody without wrecking yourself. Cody Ware tried to intentionally retaliate against Austin Dillon. It completely backfired, and his day would be over with a ton of contact. That would be the end of that. So then all lead lap cars would then come down pit road, except Josh Berry and Chase Elliott, who had pitted a little bit earlier in the race, and Ryan Blaney would end up winning the race off pit road, followed by Joe Logano and William Byron. Unfortunately for Kyle Larson, was probably going to be restarting around 3rd or 4th. He got affected a little bit and had missed his pit stall. Larson got affected, lost 1 spot on pit road. And then on the restart, with 41 laps to go, you had Josh Berry lead the field from the outside with Chase Elliott on the inside, and Josh Berry got a really good restart and was able to clear for the lead. There would be a really good battle between Ryan Blaney and Josh Berry for a couple laps, and eventually with 39 laps to go, Ryan Blaney made the move to the inside of Josh Berry and was able to clear for the race lead. But at this point of the run, Ryan Blaney would have to deal with Josh Berry, as Josh Berry would actually keep up with Ryan Blaney, as Ryan Blaney's car started going away a little bit, and Josh Berry's car was starting to come in, as Josh Berry's car, like I already mentioned, was really good on the long run and was gaining a ton of ground and making up a ton of opportunities to get up front there. So he had a really good shot to get there and was gaining a ton of ground at that point. But once he couldn't make the move, Josh Berry got loose at around 10 laps to go and lost a chance and opportunity to make a move on Ryan Blaney, and Ryan Blaney started pulling away from Josh Berry at that point. Josh Berry would try to get there at the end, but it would not be enough as it came to the white flag. Ryan Blaney had about a 1-second lead over Josh Berry. He would come out the final corner and hold off the hard-charging Josh Berry and pick up his 3rd win of 2025 and his 16th career NASCAR Cup Series win. Huge congratulations to Ryan Blaney on the win. Ryan Blaney, in my opinion, I think he had the fastest car in this race. He was really good in the practice session yesterday. I really thought this 12 car was going to be really strong in the long run. He had one of the strongest cars in the long run all day. Put together a great performance. I don't think he led the most laps in this race. It was really close between him and Joey Logano, but I think he had a really great car today. Showed some really strong pace and really, really good speed. Impressive run from Ryan Blaney starting off this round. Doesn't have to worry about Kansas or the Charlotte Roval, which he's been hit or miss at those tracks in the past, except of course he did win the Charlotte Roval back in 2018, but a big win for Blaney, whose best finish in recent years, like 18th or something like that. So fantastic run for Blaney. Congratulations him. Gets his third win of the year. This car has been so strong and so fast all year. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney on picking up the win. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the race results, and we'll take a look at the playoff standings and then talk about the race as a whole. So Ryan Blaney picks up the win. Josh Berry finishes second. I want to give Josh Berry a huge shout out. He comes back from his spin early in the race, fades back quite a bit. But as the run goes on, he recovers and finishes second. A much-needed run for Josh Berry, considering he had 3 straight last-place finishes going into today's race. I thought Berry would be a factor for at least a decent run today, but he had a really good car, especially in the long run. Not enough to get there. Thought he was going to get Blaney at the end, but he might win before the end of the year. A great run for Josh Berry nonetheless. He finishes second. William Byron finished third, the highest finishing Hendrick car. He just had a solid day. First top 10 finish William Byron's ever had at New Hampshire Motor Speedway as well. He ran top 5 a lot of this race, showed some really, really good speed. A great run for William Byron. He finished third. Joe Logano finished fourth. One of the best runs Logano's had all season. He was up front pretty much this whole entire race, had a really strong car. Just seemed like it faded a little bit on the longer run. I think he had overall maybe the third best car in this race, but still had a really, really good day, all things considered. He finished fourth. Great run for Joe Logano. Chase Elliott finished fifth. He qualified horrendously, but I mentioned this in the thing. He was really, really good on the longer run, and he charged up to the front as the day went on. They play strategy and gets a really strong top 5 finish. A great recovery for Elliott. He finishes in 5th. Christopher Bell finished 6th. A disappointing day for Bell Sanders, and he still does get a top 10. I really thought Bell would be the favorite coming into this race. They just didn't see him have the race-winning speed. He had top 5 speed at points, but didn't have race speed to contend for the overall win. But today was still really solid, but not a great run for Christopher Bell. He finishes in 6th. Kyle Larson finished 7th. Kyle Larson had a better car than a 7th place car. He probably had a top 2, top 3 car. I think he generally was the fastest non-Penske or Penske affiliated car today. He was the best Hendrick car in my opinion out on that track. Was really, really good on the long run. They just lost maybe a little bit of the handling on the longer run, especially at points. But he had a really solid day. I know 7th isn't a great finish, but he did lead some laps today as well. So pretty good day. Not a spectacular day for Larson, but a pretty good day. He finished 7th. Michael McDowell finished 8th. I want to give McDowell a shout out. A really solid day for Michael McDowell. He ran around 10th to 15th most of the day and comes home with a really strong 8th place finish. Solid day for the driver from Spire. Ross Chastain finished 9th. A really solid day for Ross Chastain. He did the tire test. He faded as the day went on. Didn't get any stage points today, but he does come home with a really strong top 10 finish. Not a bad start to the second round of the playoffs for Chastain. He finished 9th. And Chase Briscoe finished 10th. A kind of disappointing day for Briscoe, and he still comes home with a top 10. Got some stage points as well, so that definitely will help, but they just were a little bit off on pace and speed all day long. He finishes in 10th. Not a bad day. Not a great day, but not a terrible day for Briscoe. Carson Osbar finished 11th. He was up front early in this race, had a top 5 car a majority of this event. Unfortunately faded as we got farther in the run with the 4 tires among other things, but he does come on with a top 15. Another solid day for Osbar, getting a top 15. Denny Hamlin finished 12th. Hamlin was about a 7th to 8th place car. Just not the speed I think we all kind of expected from Denny Hamlin. Had the beef, of course, with Ty Gibbs today. Just not a great day for Denny Hamlin. For his standards, he finishes 12th. Austin Dillon finished 13th, a decent day for him with all the chaos that was surrounding him throughout this race. He comes home with a really strong top 15 run. Not a bad day for Austin Dillon. Ryan Preece finished 14th. He was really a no-show a lot of this race. He wasn't really talked about much at all. So a solid top 15 run for Ryan Preece. The score top 15. Alex Bowman finished 15th. He faded as the race progressed, but he started off really, really strong. They just lost handling on the car. Unfortunately, just didn't really get a chance to go for the win. He finished 15th. Noah Gragson finished 16th. A decent day for Gragson. Was running in the top 10 at points in this event. One of the better runs Noah Gragson's had as of late. He finished 16th. Austin Cindric finished 17th. He's been once again outshined by all his Penske teammates, including Josh Berry, the affiliate. Just a disappointing day for Austin Cindric, who had decent speed in practice, but just didn't show it in the race today. He finished 17th. Chris Buescher finished 18th. Not a good day for Chris Buescher. Todd Gilliland gets the top 20 in 19th place. AJ Allmendinger finished 20th. Tyler Reddick finished 21st, a disastrous day for the 2311 cars, just no speed for them whatsoever at all. Reddick struggled all day, he finished 21st. Riley Hurts finished 22nd. Brad Keselowski just was not there most of the day, finished 23rd. Cole Custer with top 25 and 24th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 25th. Bubba Wallace finished 26th. One of the worst races Bubba's had in recent months. I just don't know where the speed was in his 23 car. They struggled all day, didn't have the setup in practice, and they just were not that great today in the race itself. Bubba was complaining on the radio all day long about the handling of the car. Just a bad day for Bubba in general. He finished 26th. Zane Smith finished 27th. Eric Jones finished 20th. The Legacy cars missed the setup today, unfortunately. Ty Dillon finished 29th. Kyle Busch finished 30th. He finished 4 laps down in this race. This had no speed in this car whatsoever. He was terrible all day, ran in the back all day long, just had no speed whatsoever. Kyle Busch has not been good in New Hampshire in recent years, and today really showed no speed for him. He finished 30th. Cody Ware finished 31st. Shane Van Gisbergen finished 32nd. I know he finished 32nd in this race, but I want to give SVG a shout out because before this incident that he had, he was having a really good run. His best overrun I think he's had up to this point. He was in the top 5-6 area through the first 100 laps of the event, but unfortunately, he just had the incident with Keselowski where Keselowski took him out of contention. A disappointing end, but I'm telling you, he's been getting better at these ovals. Just not enough today to get the finish I think he deserved. He finished 32nd. Justin Haley finished 33rd. John Nemechek after his crash finished 34th. Ty Gibbs finished 35th. And Daniel Suarez after crashing finished last in 36th. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff standings after the first race of the round of 12. So now let's take a look at the playoff standings after the first race of the round of 12. So with Ryan Blaney's win, he is locked into the next round with the win. William Byron's up by 47 points with a really good run today. Same with Kyle Larson, who's up by 41 points in third. Chris Bell is in fourth, 29 points above. Denny Hamlin is 27 points above. Joe Logano is 24 above. Chase Elliott is 14 above. And Chase Briscoe is 12 points above. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain is 12 below. Austin Cindric is 19 below. Tyler Reddick is 23 below. And Bubba Wallace is 27 points below. Looking at the playoff standings right now, the one I'm most worried about is Joey Logano because of the Roval and because of Kansas. There just haven't been that great at Kansas and the Roval in the past, so I'm worried about them there. I'm also a little worried about Denny Hamlin only being 27 up. If Hamlin doesn't have an amazing run at Kansas, I'm concerned about the Roval, so he needs to have a really good run at Kansas. I think he had to have a really good run today, just didn't have the best run out there. I think Reddick and Bubba could still get a chance to get up there, but Bubba just wasn't great today. It's going to be tough. He might already be in a must-win situation. Granted, he could be good at Kansas, but we don't know at this point how that is going to end up going. So that is the playoff standings. Let's now go ahead and talk about the overall race as a whole and give my score and thoughts on today's event. Honestly, I thought for New Hampshire, it was a solid race. Because generally when we go to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, you're not expecting amazing races. You're expecting sometimes good races. You're also expecting sometimes the racing isn't going to be great. I think this was generally one of the better New Hampshire races we have seen, at least in recent years. I think one of the better next-gen races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You saw some of the dirty air issues with the next-gen car. But I think for New Hampshire standards and next-gen standards, I think it was actually a pretty solid event, all things considered. You could pass today, which is better than other tracks we've seen so far this year. And I think New Hampshire put on a really good show and some really good battles throughout the field all day. I think it was one of the better races we have seen, at least recently, too. I thought it was a pretty fun event, all things considered. My score today is NASCAR Cup Series race. I'm going to give this race overall, I'll give it a 7.5. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was a fun race, pretty enjoyable. Again, you could pass throughout the day. Tires didn't matter. The softer compound actually worked today, and it put on one of the better races we've seen in New Hampshire. My score is going to be an 8 out of 10. So, that is going to be it for the NASCAR Cup Series race review from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go jump over that and comment your thoughts below on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Ryan Blaney on picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple days. We're catching up on everything from Thursday all the way to today and going into tomorrow, of course. Then on Tuesday, if we have a ton of news that breaks on Monday, we should have a news video dropping then. We could be doing the same thing for Wednesday as well. We'll have race picks, of course, for the Xfinity Series race either Tuesday or Wednesday. We might have the intros video coming out as well. Then, of course, on Thursday, we're going to have the Cup race picks for Kansas, and then we'll have potentially other things coming out as well this week and some fun content on the way along with silly season. We got a lot of content coming on People Haley leading in Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Frankie Muniz, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Brock Feeney, Will Brown, Cam Waters, Dodge Ram, you name it, Clayton Safaro, and all the good stuff, Tony Breidinger, you name it, Connor Zos Jr. Motorsports, all the good stuff to talk about on the channel in the coming days and weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, buddy.